Okay, so you performed in Hungary just a few weeks ago. Now we
hmm
absolutely love the show. The set list, the energy, the stage design was really cool. What's your first memory that comes to your mind if you think about your visit in Budapest, and how did you like the show?
The show was awesome. I think my first memory, probably when I think about it, was this time we had an opportunity to like really walk around and explore the city. I know last time we played at the Aquarium Club, that was in like the town center, but we actually didn't really have time to walk around and explore. So this time, I got up early and we took a car into the city and we got to walk over the bridge, in between the two different sides, where the castle is and then where the rest of the city is. And then we went, there's this like, I'm sure it's like pretty touristy, but it was cool to me, like this area where everybody's like serving food and stuff, you know what I'm talking about? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like a little town square, and then there's like a bunch of food, and I think like that's honestly like my favorite memory of going to, or the first memory that comes to mind, just because I feel like the architecture and the energy of Budapest is like different than any other place I've been in Europe, and so it was just like really awesome to get to explore.
Okay, so you released your latest album, 12 Notes, last year. What did you enjoy the most about the creation process of this record?
Honestly, I think the thing I enjoyed most about the record, I mean, this isn't necessarily part of the creation process, but I enjoyed touring it more than I did making it. So this tour and playing the songs is probably the most gratifying part of the whole process, if I'm being honest.
Okay, and
Is that usually the case that you enjoy touring more than like the creation process itself?
No, because I feel like I'm only now, I mean, I've been touring for a long time, but it's taken me this long to get a good rhythm and routine on the road that's healthy, like living a healthy lifestyle on the road, which like allows me to enjoy the process more. And this is the first time I've found like a routine where I was disciplined enough and like focused enough to do the things that I needed to do that allowed me to enjoy the tour, like waking up early, because there's so many times where I've been to these cities and I've slept too late to get up and go explore, and this time I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed right after the show. I'm gonna wake up first thing in the morning. I'm gonna go explore. I'm gonna get outside. I'm gonna exercise. I'm gonna eat healthy. I'm gonna try all the foods, but I'm not gonna eat so much that I explode. And then by the time I get on stage, I'm not gonna enjoy the performance. So this is the first time. And I cut out like alcohol and all of the other bad things that you get into while you're on the road. So this was probably the most enjoyable tour I've ever had.
All right.
and what was the biggest challenge that you had to face while making the record?
I think it was mostly like personal challenges. I was going through a lot of personal turmoil at the time, and I love making music, and it's something that I do because I enjoy it, but it's also a job for me, and I knew I had to make a record. And sometimes you have to make music and you have to write songs even when you don't feel like it. And it's not that I didn't feel like making this album, but when you're going through like personal stuff and you're having family troubles and things like that, it's hard to make an album. And so I think that sometimes it helps the album making process, because you have things to write about, but it's not always easy. So I think that was the hardest part. I was going through a lot. I mean, I'm kind of like really like I was an adult when I kind of reached my 20s, but now I'm like, I'm 30 now, so I'm a big boy, and making an album while you're having to deal with like adult stuff is not fun.
All right. So you just finished your tour. So let's talk about concerts and touring a bit. What's one thing that you just have to have backstage at your shows?
I drink a lot of diet soda. I know I shouldn't, but like I drink, and I just started drinking coffee, which is probably something that I shouldn't be doing. But I think that, and then, so probably diet soda, Diet Coke or Coke Zero or Pepsi. And then I love chocolate covered almonds. It's really those two things.
The what?
Chocolate covered almonds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are.
And then like the rest of the stuff I try to stay away from, because I used to have like candy and crap and beer and stuff on my rider, and I just don't do that anymore, because I realize like I love touring and I love my job, and if I want to be able to keep doing my job, then I have to be able to treat myself occasionally, but like not all the time. And if I walk into my green room every day and there's just garbage there, I'm gonna eat it,
Yeah, I can feel that. Okay, so I want to play a quick game, which you might hate, I don't know, we'll see. But I randomly picked 5 songs from your set list, and I want you to rank them without knowing what's next, okay? So the first one is The Way You Felt.
3.
All right, I sent my therapist to therapy.
1.
Okay, Pick Me.
5.
All right, Let Me Down Slowly.
4.
Okay, and the last one is Different Kind of Beautiful.
2.
Are you happy with the rank?
Right? I'm happy with that, how that came out.
Okay. So I feel like a lot of your songs are really personal, and that's why your fans can really connect with them. Can you tell me about your most memorable encounter with a fan of yours?
I mean, it's hard to pick like one that's the most memorable. What's the most memorable encounter with a fan?
Or like the most touching one, maybe.
I mean, there's one thing that comes to mind, and it's actually really sad. So I don't know if I should say it. So I'm trying to think of something else. Because I think a lot of times like people share really personal stuff with me. But I think if I could just speak like more broadly, I think that when people share specific lyrics with me that have resonated with them, that have helped them in certain situations, it really is touching for me, because there are artists that I listen to that I feel like did the same thing for me. And so it kind of is a full circle thing to know that I can do that for other people.
All right.
Okay, and if you take a look at your whole career, what is your proudest achievement so far?
I mean, my proudest achievement is probably being able to support myself like financially on my music. Like that's just like, I mean, that's like the ultimate goal, right? So I feel like regardless of anything past that is kind of just like gravy. I feel the fact that I get to like do this for my job, and I can like, I think the proudest thing is like, because I remember I used to do like open mics and stuff, and I dropped out of school, and then I still live at home, but not out of necessity. I live at home just because, you know, I mean, I should probably move out. Like I'm gonna be 31, but I remember like I always just wanted to be able to like feed myself with my music, and there was one time where like I got like a meal voucher for playing, and that was like a big deal because I could exchange my services for something else. And so the fact that like I can feed myself for my music is probably my proudest achievement.
All right. And finally, is there a message that you would like to share with your Hungarian fans?
Yeah, thanks for having me in your country and for embracing my music, and I hope that you'll have me back soon. I had a great time. I really enjoyed the show.
Right, so that's all we planned for you today. But before we go, I don't know if you remember, the last time we spoke, I did teach you a Hungarian word. Now
you have to teach me another one, yeah.
Yeah, I want to teach you another one to kind of enrich your Hungarian vocabulary. So I'd like to teach you how to say thank you in Hungarian, okay?
How do you do that?
Okay, so it goes like this. Köszönöm.
Köszönöm?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, köszönöm. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, and can't wait to have you back in our country.
Yeah, thank you guys for taking the time. I appreciate it. I really enjoyed talking to you. It's good to see you again, and I hope I'll see you guys again soon.